Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. Looks like I have a monitor in the way. There we are. This new camera angle. This camera has a lot bigger spectrum than the other one did. So it also has to sit a little bit further back. So anyway, monitor sometimes gets in the way. Well, greetings everybody. How are you doing? Welcome back to DistroWars. Today we're going to be looking at Manjaro versus Solus. This is something somebody asked for, and I had to decide which way to go with. Manjaro has a basic default of XFCE with a few core builds. Solus has a default of Budgie with a few other core builds. So we end up running with Plasma today. And the reason is I wanted to use, I didn't want to go with the Manjaro Budgie because it's a community build and not a core build. And so I decided to go with, it was either down to GNOME or Plasma. And I haven't done Plasma in a DistroWars for a while, so figured I'd go with that one. But anyway, Dope God 3D, how's it going there? It's just switched from Manjaro back to Solus because literally everything out of the gate worked. Manjaro is literally just so close. It's insane. Yeah, I had a hard time deciding which one I might call and declare as a winner, but I don't know. We'll have to go and ask, like, you know, AP or Fox News or CNN, somebody. I mean, they're the ones that call stuff these days, so couldn't let them make the decision anyway. But, you know, whatever. Who cares? All right, let's see. Look forward to the show today. DistroWars is always a fun learning experience. Why, thank you. Very cool. Distro can't watch because it's too late in India. My apologies. You can watch, if you save the link, you can watch the full stream, or you can just watch the edited version when it comes out. It'll drop out later on this afternoon for me, or I guess early in the morning for you. The show, I keep on, keep on getting asked about where I do the LibreOffice tutorial. So that's on my writing channel, writingdoneright.net, or Writing Done Right. And I am not doing as many videos over there as I would like to. In fact, I've had something on the list to do. I've actually had 3 videos on my list to do for the last while. I've just been so stinking busy. So I haven't gotten to it. My apologies for that. We are going to do one where we're going to be looking at the, we're going to look at how to manually build WordPress for a website. We might even do a manually build Joomla for a website because I've been steering people towards Joomla, although it's not as user-friendly from the back end getting started. And then I have a few other things. And I actually have a book that is entering beta reading soon, probably in about 2 weeks or so. I originally said middle of November. I had to push that up a little bit. So the alpha reading team already has a copy of the first section of the manuscript. So if anybody else is interested in looking at the beta read for that, anybody who completes the beta read will get a signed copy of the book when it is out. And you can also get an ebook or an audiobook as well as soon as those are out. For helping out with it. Of course, I will only ship the physical books in the United States and Canada. Anywhere else, it just costs a prohibitive amount of money to send. This book is actually, it's another Christian book, so it's not a continuation of the science fiction series. It is a Christian book on my life and testimony. So that is the one. If anybody's interested in that, just contact me any way you know how to contact me. Either using the contact form on the website at Switch to Linux, or you can use the contact form on the website at ourwalkingchrist.com, which is where I'm compiling everything to. So anybody that is interested in beta reading a book, a personal life and testimony, go ahead and get a hold of me. And I'm probably going to take like 25 people max. So go ahead and reach out, and we'll go ahead and get you on that list. All right. But anyway, that's all on writingdoneright.net. Renard, greetings. How are you doing? The Big T's here. How's it going there, Big T? Joseph, how's it going there? Finally got MX Linux updated to 19.3 after an Arch Grub update. Ooh. I'm still on 19.2. Grub was apparently false, displaying MX Linux 19.2, and Grub update fixed it, updated kernel as well. Very nice. Very cool. Stallman is pleased. Nice to meet you as well. Hello, Farron. Greetings. It's Plasma, but the color scheme is Plata-esque. All right. Farron, don't be saying BRB. Oh, not Gary saying BRB. Oh, you guys are going to get banned for that, apparently. Apparently Farron, or was that today or yesterday? Sometime recently, Farron was moderated from the Google team for writing BRB in the chat. So books have betas. Yes, when you are an author and writing a book, a beta reading team is going to go through. They're going to help fix any of the story holes, plots, clarify any things, and sometimes help with the grammatical type stuff. Then the beta team gets back, and then I go through, integrate those edits in, and then I send it out to a general editor, and then I go ahead and start working on the books. So let's see. Let's see. America's Finest greetings. If someone... message retracted. Let's see. If someone wants the country bad enough, they will get in there. And there was a video of somebody moving right past the wall. Yeah, you know. Let's see. Catch a live stream later to sleep. All right. See you later, India. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night. Is my... So it's your testimony or everyone's. Would love to contribute to Distracted. We'll talk later. Yeah, it's my how I became a Christian and what that meant. Let's see. Which distro would you recommend for a 13-year-old with high-end hardware? You know, I just like Linux Mint. I think Linux Mint is a solid place to go, but there's so many great distros. Take a look at Farron's distro. Farron OS is good. Zorin is good. Pop! OS is good if you like the GNOME. I like Arch. Manjaro is good. I mean, stick with any of the mainline distros and you're going to be just fine, particularly on high-end software. A lot of Christians are Linux users. Nice. Honestly, I don't know how many. That'd be a cool thing to find out, but just want to be right back. Just randomly get pinged by people asking if I got banned or something. Came back and said the chat said message deleted by Google's moderator team. Yeah. So if you're on, hi Google. Google, why do you keep age restricting my videos about installing Debian? I mean, I know the video was probably cringy. It's 2018. That was a while ago. It's cringeworthy for sure. But bannable and age restriction? I don't know. Yeah, we got that. Gimp's mask, yes. Gimp's 2.99 splash screen is the GIMP dog wearing a mask. If you actually zoom in on the picture, he has the old original GIMP logo, and the logo is also wearing a mask. Go figure. This here, I am a Christian brother. Yes, I am indeed. I have a whole ministry site called Our Walk in Christ. I do 3 videos per week on the YouTube/BitChute channel over there. I do a podcast, which is once a week. And I have a lot of other things over on ourwalkinchrist.com. I'll go ahead and drop that link in here for those interested in that. And then I think we are going to go ahead and get on with the show. All right. Imagine complaining about it wearing a mask when it's called GIMP. I see you said that over in Discord, and I responded, it's called GIMP. It's not called COVID-infected dog. Okay, if it's a COVID-infected dog, I completely understand wearing a mask. You gotta keep that COVID out of the air. I get it, but it's a GIMP doesn't. I mean, a GIMP doesn't necessarily, not necessarily a lung issue. It's more of a physical phenotype issue. Come on. I'm probably the most entertaining Linux YouTuber. I don't know, maybe. I'm not as boring and dry because I didn't approach this whole Linux thing from a Linux computer user. That's really the difference. I was a web developer, and I still am a web developer, and I learned to switch to Linux because I saw what was going on in Windows 10. I'm like, hell no, I ain't doing that crap. But Linux is fun. So let's make it fun. Let's not be boring and dry. And GTK 3.526 has come out, and it has some back-end improvements for the CSS streaming. Like, so what? No, I don't care. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with the distro wars. Get the coof out. Friend of mine's mother got the coof. He's like, man, we might have the coof. We actually skipped church last week because, we could have the coof. But, his mom got sick and then got better, And then he never did, and her husband never did, and I never did. I might have the coof. Who knows? I mean, really. Let's get started. Welcome back to Switch to Linux and another Distro Wars. And today we're going to look at Manjaro versus Solus. This is one that somebody asked me to have a look at, and I had an initial conflict Which versions? Solus has 4 basic versions, and if I pull up my list here so I can remember exactly which ones they are, of course they created the Budgie desktop, and so Solus is going to be best on Budgie, but they also have official GNOME, Mate, and Plasma builds. Manjaro, on the other hand, it has a few various options, and one of the... pull up the additions here real quick. So they have official, they have community, they have ARM, and they have development stuff. So under the official ones, these are ones that officially from the Manjaro team, you have Architect, GNOME, Plasma, XFCE. And then in the community, you have Awesome, BSPOM, Budgie, Cinnamon, i3, LXDE, LXQT, Mate, and OpenBox. I didn't want to cross over and do a community build, so it was pretty much down to GNOME or Plasma. Both have official builds for the distros. And since we look at GNOME probably more frequently, just because it's used more frequently, I decided today to go with Plasma. So we're going to be having a look at these guys with the perspective of Plasma. And really, we're not going to say much about the desktop environment as a whole. I'm not going to concern myself with the desktop environment or anything like that. What we are going to concern ourselves with mostly here is going to be the package management, because that's really the biggest difference between these two. They both theme things excellent out of the box. They both tend to run well. They both are very mainline distributions. Manjaro, of course, is based on Arch, so anything that you do in Arch, you're going to see the ability to use with inside of Manjaro. And Solus is its own ground-up Linux, so it's not based on Ubuntu, not based on Arch, not based on Debian. It's its own ground-up Linux, which carries with it some of its own advantages and its disadvantages. So let's go ahead and have a look first by going to their websites and poking around over there. So on Manjaro, they launched this new website here a little while back. You can come over here, hit the Try Manjaro button, and then you have the splash screens with the basics. So XFCE is what I would consider their most core build. We have the Plasma, we have the GNOME, we have the Architect. Now the Architect is going to be a terminal-based installer. I've done videos about this. This is an excellent distribution. I could have taken the route using Architect, going through and building a Budgie out of it, but I decided not to do that for the simple reason that it would give me something that's a lot more customizable. I could choose how the system is built, and I wouldn't have the same out-of-the-box experience as a standard basic new user might experience. So I decided not to go with that and go with the Plasma. If you head on up to the additions up here at the top of the screen and go down to community, this is where you find these. The community builds, they're frankly just as good as the official builds. It's just that I didn't want to do community versus an official build. Under the ARM, we do have Pinebook, Pine Tab, we have Raspberry Pi builds, which I've looked at. So we have a lot of different builds in here. So Manjaro does have a lot of widespread hardware use. Not quite as much as pure Arch or Debian, but for sure it does. The Solus website over here at getsol.us, this guy over here, it's a really nice, clean website. It's easy to navigate. You can find your help center over here, which is very simple. In fact, we're going to be looking mostly at package and stuff. So it looks like my website. No, my website's good. I thought my website might have frozen. Get into your package management. Here's kind of your basics over here. And you can see that everything in here is really good. One of the things we'll notice is that Solus uses EO package, whereas Manjaro is going to use Pacman. And so we're going to get into that a little bit. EO package isn't a whole lot different than apt. It's install package name, install. Maybe it's closer to DNF because when you go the upgrade, you don't have to go through an update first. It'll do the update when you go to install software or install upgrades. Very similar to what DNF is going to do. So DNF from OpenSUSE or I don't know, maybe OpenSUSE has it. I know Fedora has it, but anyway, that's your basics of your website. So let's go ahead and boot up, and we are going to go ahead and look at Manjaro first. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll have a look at our Solus next. Forgot where I was for a second there. Load, Manjaro, load. Oh boy. Yeah, if you're new to the stream, I'm kind of quiet during these parts so I can edit it out easier. All right, so here we are on the login screen, and I'm just going to go ahead and enter my super secret password that's definitely not 123. Go ahead and log on into here, and then we will land on our desktop. So Manjaro does a really good job of paying attention to the fine details. It's just their builds, all of them, are just gorgeous out of the box. They utilize all their own custom theming. They really make the operating system look good, clean, and modern. So even if you're running something like a Mate version, it still looks good and modern rather than something else. Oh, hey, there's our drop-down terminal. Not sure why that loaded out of the box, but it is there. You can actually get to it down here. Is it Yakuk? I don't know how to pronounce that. But you hit this button here and you get a drop-down terminal going up. Here is the welcome screen when you first get logged into here. So we have a lot of information, softwares, development, get involved. We have our applications. So this is one of the package managers that they have. This is just a very clean, simple list where you can go ahead and jump on in here and just grab the most common software. It's not going to contain everything, but it does contain the most common software you will find. Of course, on the installer, you have the choice whether you want to install FreeOffice, LibreOffice, or nothing else. And they actually have a variety of other Office builds in here as well. Now, really the stand-apart thing for Manjaro is it does actually also have the Pamuk software manager. And Pamuk is probably why I think Manjaro is going to win this, this particular discussion here. So when you boot up Pamuk, this will have all of the software available in the Pacman repositories and any other repositories that you enable. When you come into Pamuk, if you want to use other things like the Arch user repository, or you want to use snaps, you want to use Flatpaks, any of that type of stuff, you actually have the ability to come in here and do this. No distribution has streamlined the use or disuse of any of these services like Manjaro has done. So, you know, I love Linux Mint. They do not like snaps as a philosophy. I understand why they did not want to have a simple toggle button like this to include it. Manjaro takes a more neutral approach, but realizes some people don't want to see snaps. So you come in here, toggle it off. You will not see snaps show up. Turn it on. Now snaps are going to show up in your basic package search. You can do the same with the Arch user repository and with Flatpaks. So once you go ahead and do that, now anytime you do a search for something, you're going to get a show up and it's going to tell you exactly where it is. So I like to use the Kdenlive as a good default search for this because there are versions in each individual repository. They've also done an excellent job of showing you which one you're installing. So top Kdenlive is the official repository. The second Kdenlive you can see is coming from the Snap repository. You'll see it is slightly older than the repository because Manjaro is based on Arch and always gets the fastest things rolling out. And you'll actually see here that the Flatpak version down here is just about as caught up as the official Arch repositories, but not quite as much as Snap. But I can very clearly see which one I want. Do I want to run this from an official repository or as a Snap or as a Flatpak? And Manjaro makes it easiest to give us that individual choice. And if you want to turn them off later, just go ahead and toggle these guys back off at a later date. There's no problem with that. You can also come in here, you can set how many versions of each package to keep. So if you need to downgrade things, you can only remove versions of uninstalled packages. So you have a lot of different things. Here's mirrors. You can use mirrors from wherever you want to set your mirrors to. So if I'm here in the United States, I might want to go down and find United States and find some mirrors from over here. just make it a little bit easier to work with. So refresh this. Now it's going to be pulling software from, from closer to home rather than anywhere else. So really, Pamuk is the thing that causes Manjaro to stand out more than anybody, in that we have so many options for package management within it. You can see on the desktop how beautiful it is. We do have updates to the system. This will pull down your individual updates, and the Manjaro logo. I believe this will still give us some kernel management. So if we need to change the kernel, we can go ahead and do that. There you go. Right click it there. There's your kernels. And then you'll have the ability to select which kernel we're running. So we can see we're on 5.8. I could go to 5.9, or I could go up to the experimental 5.10 release candidate. So you have an option of what you're going to be doing with your kernel settings. These are basic Manjaro settings: language packages, user accounts, hardware configurations, and things like that. As far as everything else, as I said, we're not going to go into the Plasma desktop itself, but you can see, if you've used KDE at all, that this is not a standard KDE theming. It is using all of its own custom work. Now, if you do want to manage things with the terminal, you actually have the ability to just drop down the terminal, or you can load up a standard window one, and we could do a sudo pacman, and then SYU is going to check for any packages. So this is a great way to do that. I just upgraded this about a couple hours ago. I'm actually totally surprised there's no updates. I mean, we're going on 4 hours, guys. Arch, what are you doing? There's no updates. What are you doing, Arch? But anyway, so that is Manjaro. Out of the box, you're going to find it works very well. Some people have complained that the Manjaro forums are sometimes nasty RTFM type guys. Other people have said it's the greatest, friendliest forums. So we can't really say for sure which one is going to give you better support. I do know that there have been a few snafus with Manjaro, a few of them not too long ago, where things did not get updated as quickly as they should have, and Arch should be updated more frequently than not. And because of that, it did cause a little bit of instabilities in Manjaro. That has been known to occur from time to time, but it's not as common as one may think. But there is Manjaro. So let's go ahead and have a look at our Solus Plasma next. All right, we'll shut this guy down. And then we'll head back on over to our comments, get caught up on comments, then we'll boot up Plasma. Over on Discord, on the topic of COVID news, oh yeah, PA government announced new rules, including the wearing of a mask in your house. Several states have actually issued strict lockdowns just in time for the Thanksgiving vacation. You are not allowed to go have Thanksgiving with your parents, people. Nope. Shame on you for even thinking about engaging in a heathenistic holiday, which is all about killing people. Yeah. So I will be, in fact, I will, instead of doing my regular plans, I'm going to be altering my plans for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be looking for the biggest party of unmasked people and going there instead. What are you going to do about it, Tom Wolfe? You werewolf of Harrisburg? Get me some. Never mind. But yes, Tom Wolfe and his pet highly confused. This is how screwed up Pennsylvania is. We're taking science advice from a person who doesn't know if they're a man or a woman. That's how screwed up it is. This is not a difficult question. I mean, look down there. What do you got? Is it sticking out or is it going in? I mean, this is easy. But no, anyway. Yes, Tim, how can they possibly enforce that? They can't. And I promise you, Mr. Governor himself is going to be dining with his extended family, and I promise you nobody's going to be wearing masks. They might all throw one on for a showing party on Twitter or something, because the people over on Twitter, follow Tom Wolfe's Twitter. I have no idea where those people came from, but holy crap, do they have their heads on backwards. Yeah, well, the courts already did rule a lot of what he did unconstitutional, and then they did not issue a stay, so he went and bribed his favorite judge to issue him the stay anyway, because Tom Wolfe is actually possibly more corrupt than any other politician you could think of. I'm pretty sure. Is it surprising that a several $1 million state grant went to a brand new startup COVID testing company in his own hometown? I don't think I smell anything fishy there. But anyway, password definitely not 1, 2, 3. That's right. Here in Norway, the government says that visiting one's close family and parents is considered a necessary travel. See, I'll have to go to Norway soon, I'm telling you. At least get out of the state of Pennsylvania. Oh, Boise. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and check in on comments on YouTube. Let's see. Where am I at? Content, tell you how to use Linux. Well, thank you. You know what? I won't explain the context of imagine complaining about GIMP wearing a mask. Much better that way. Kind of got to do with the algorithm. Yeah, people are bored and they're stupid or want. Yeah, say it is what people deem the name GIMP unprofessional. Yeah, well, that's very possible. That's fine. I think what a lot of what people do in professional spheres is unprofessional. You know, I was one day back when I was at a Society of Toxicology meeting. We rented out the. So I was rooming with a guy who was working for one of the huge farm companies, and they rented out the top floor of the World Trade Center building in Baltimore and had a party, and the most unprofessional stuff ever went on up at that place. I got a chance to get in because I was rooming with the guy. And he's like, well, I'm his right. He's like, oh, hey, more the merrier. Go on. I mean, there's all these big corporate executives getting characters done with prostitutes. I mean, it was crazy stuff, which, you know, the whole world is unprofessional in many ways. Some would say this is unprofessional. You have a bookcase in your background. Yeah, but thanks to my new camera, you can't see it clearly anymore. I think I'm gonna get a lens with better, like a different focal aperture, so it gets more blurry in the background. I think that'd be cool. Let's see. Why Endeavor when you have Arco? The other one on my list to do sometime soon is Salient versus Endeavor. I might look at that one soon too. Manjaro is the Ubuntu of Arch. I agree. And complete with its own controversy. One point in time, they were going to take LibreOffice out and just use the only Office, whatever Office, SoftMaker Office, whichever one it is, and they wanted to go ahead and do that. And the problem is that other Office package has a EULA. So, like, no, stop doing that, you know? And they did listen to their people. They listened to their people, and they put the choice in. And I'm all for choice. That's cool. No big deal. Let's see. Are you like PMing me in the middle of a stream? All right, I guess one. Yes. There are multiple meanings. I will say I will not read the comment since you did not publish it publicly. But yes, I will agree. There are two meanings. We can agree on that. Let's go. Reason I can't manage to get on Solus live install. Huh. Interesting. Flatpak and Snap support out of the box. Yep. Before 2 hours, I finished installing Manjaro. All right. What was the issue had with Solus, or whether it's the only thing I had to edit EFI. Okay. Let's see. I don't have Flatpak integration in Pamuk in Arch, so I use Discover Software Center to install and update Flatpaks. You should, unless your version is pretty old or something. That would be unusual. Screen goes black. Haven't tried. XOCE can't find. Didn't try to install multiple desktops yet. Don't see the Snap tab. Yeah, when did you install it? Is that what he was asking there? If you installed it recently, it should be there in the preferences. Manjaro holds packages back. Yes, they hold packages back, but it's not a long time. Thanksgiving Day. Well, actually, in California, they're celebrating Thanksgiving Day. If a Democrat eats turkey, can they become accused of cannibalism? Well, let's see. In Arch, you install updates on your own terms. Do people consider comments like "check your body parts" transphobia? Or, I'm sure, possibly. But yes, we do have an openly. I'm not going to say transgender. I'm going to say transvestite. Secretary of Health. No surgeries, no treatments, no anything that I'm aware of. It's just a dude that puts on a wig and calls itself Rachel. Okay, that defines our Secretary of Health, and we are taking science advice from this lunatic. I do believe that the foxes have taken control of the hen house. Now I cannot visit family on Christmas. Well, you go and visit your family on Christmas if that's what you want to do. Sir Mrs. message got deleted. Tongue contest. I tried Solus. I could not get audio to work. I never had an audio issue with Solus. Hey, a lot of forum developers. Yeah, there's a number of them. Checked out a falling out with them, which I admit was an oversight on my point. But still, well. Laugh when I heard that some Solus moderators told whiny person go back to Manjaro. Wait, wow, the irony. What do you want, kitty? Hey, I'm about to start another video section, kitty. I can't have you coming up on my lap right now. Just lay it on the floor, and I'll have you come back up in a minute, okay? But he's being so cute down here. He's like, dude, I'm cute. I want up. Dude, we're about to launch the second part of our video. We're launching our second part of our video. I can't have you come up right now. Come on. In a bit. After I'm done with this segment, then you can come up and I'll give you your kitty treats. And you can say hi to people, okay? All right? The kitty's over here like, dude. All right, let's get started. Where were we at? Probably doxed me. It was a bit much. Got butthurt. Oh boy. Don't be doxed. So here we are on the login screen for Solus. The first thing that irritated me on Solus is on the installation, it would not allow me to choose my super secret password that's definitely not 123. I do not like it when a distribution tells me that's a weak password, pick another one. Because I very well may be using this on a temporary basis on a virtual machine. I'm okay if you give me a warning, like in Fedora. I'm not sure if they still do it, but back in the day, if it was a weak password, you had to click confirm. I am aware I'm using a weak password, use it anyway. You had to click the confirm button a couple times. Okay. And so with that, my apologies, somebody's sending me text messages. So with that, I do not like it when a distribution forces me to pick a stronger password because it's my system. It's my choice. Let me know what I want to do. Now I was able to come in here in the terminal and just use password reset to change my password or whatever I wanted. And since it's a terminal tool, it doesn't really care. Nevertheless, we land on our desktop and now we are here on Plasma and it does look just as good. And like we said before, we're not going to go into all the theme settings. I think this is, I don't think this is an exact theme that comes with Plasma. So they have themed it a little bit. I do like what they're doing on their theming. It does look quite nice. Now, as far as what we were mentioning, though, is package management is the primary thing we are looking at. Now, the biggest problem that we have with Solus is since it is ground up, it does not utilize repos from Arch or Debian or anything else. And so all of the software we have available is software that is curated. The good news about that is that all of that software is going to work with the system. The bad news is they've thrown out a lot of software that just doesn't get put in here for whatever reason. Now, we do have a lot of software still. You can still get pretty much any basic software package you might want. So here's LibreOffice, which you should be able to install the full LibreOffice package suite as well, or maybe just do the individuals. I don't know. We do have an update manager over here. You can check for updates in the GUI. There was a time way back early in the day that last I knew has been completely resolved where updating in the GUI actually crashed the system. That was an old bug that is now since fixed. Here's a list of everything that is installed, and then we have some third party as well. So on the third party, you can get Flash. I wonder if they're going to take that out when Flash is considered officially dead soon. We have Google Chrome, Android Studio, Google Earth, Spotify, Skype. So you have a lot of these different pieces of software, and I can't remember how these ones are being installed. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out is while the software is limited, it does have support for Flatpak and Snap, but they don't have any GUI support out of the box. So if you're using Solus, what you're going to need to do is either learn how to manage your software in the terminal, or you can install software stores. Now, in an old Reddit post, you could install the Snap Web, which I don't think exists anymore, but we do have the Snap Store. It is configured out of the box, and so I can't remember if you have to do Snap with sudo or not. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So sudo snap install. I think it's either called Snap Store or Snap Dash Store. I can't remember which one it is. So we'll go ahead and try them both. Too early for adoption, device not yet seeded, or device. Huh, really? Interesting. I thought that was the way to do that. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. Snap Dash Store works. So what this is going to do is if you want to be able to manage your snaps in the GUI, just go ahead and sudo snap install snap dash store. This is going to download the Snap Store, and now you will be able to check for any snaps in a GUI application. Otherwise, you need to go online and you need to grab more information. Now, there is no such GUI that I know of as of now for Flatpak, so if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. You can actually go to the Flatpak website. We'll do it while the Snap Store is connecting itself. And what we'll do now is we'll pull up the website. We'll head on over to FlatHub, and then it'll actually give us direct instructions for installing on Solus. So let's just go with Flatpak through Google. Excuse me, it's using Google. I threw up in my mouth a little bit. But anyway, over here with Flatpak, you can come on down here and find your Solus logo, and then it tells you how to set it all up. So we have install Flatpak, XDG desktop portal, and then add the FlatHub repository. I don't know if this will actually, if this portal's a GUI application or not. I actually failed to check that. Some things I forgot to look into when I was doing this. But doing some basic searching around on Solus's page, they did actually say on their official page they don't know of a way to manage them with the GUI yet. So there we are. Snap Store should be installed. So now we have a Snap Store. Let's see what our Snap Store allows us to do. Who knows? Maybe this will give us Flatpak support too. Let's go shopping. Let's have a look. So the first take-home message is Solus out of the box, while it's good and things are going to work, we are going to see that we don't have GUI set up for Snap Store out of the box. Maybe it might be nice if they did that, as much as I'm not a huge fan of them. But at the same time, you know, depending on what you're looking at. Okay, so here's from Snap. Here's our versions. We have Snapcraft, 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 Snapcraft. So everything here is Snap. It's not giving us any Flatpak options. But now we have the entirety of the Snap repository available to us in a GUI platform. Or you can just head on back into the terminal and do that. Should we go ahead and give these a try? I have not actually tried these guys. I'm pretty sure Flatpak is already installed out of the box. You can see here we're doing EO package. This is how you manage packages in the terminal. There are extra package dependencies. Do you want to continue? Sure, why not? So with EO package, as I said earlier at the beginning, it's very similar to DNF. You can just go ahead and apply your upgrades just with EO package upgrade, and it will automatically check the repositories first. No need to update like apt has. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Enter our super secret password. And now, in theory, we will have support for for flat hubs. So I'm pretty sure that does not give us anything GUI that we can use, but let's go ahead and double check. One more thing over here on Flatpak, because the website, depending on your system, you actually have the ability to install things from the individual systems. So let's see if we can grab the complete list. And, oh, come on, just give me, I don't want that. Give me Flatpak. Let's go with Flatpak GIMP. And literally, it's like I had this website earlier, and now I just can't find it because we're recording live. And of course, every single time, that's the first thing on the list. There you go. So now we have an install button on the Flatpak website. You can see it's just going to default Kate, which is a text editor. So we're not going to be able to install with the GUI. We'll have to do everything installing Flatpaks from the terminal. So that's your downside on Solus, is if there's software that you need that is not in the repository because the repository is going to be limited, you are going to have to learn how to install Flatpaks with the terminal. Everything else other than that, you're going to have a lot of solid, strong stability on both of these guys. Neither one's actually going to give you any serious headaches. Both of them have excellent user support. They both look great out of the box, and they're going to work for you. So as far as declaring a clear winner here, I'm actually going to give it to Manjaro today. The reason is, out of the box, we have GUI support or GUI disabling of Flatpak snaps, Arch user repository. We have a more mature and much more robust package management with more software available to us through Arch. And so we're going to have a few more options depending on what we are doing. That being said, Solus is still an excellent choice. So if you're debating about which one you want to use, if you don't want to mess with Arch, Solus is an excellent choice. If you do need that full thing and you're like, I'm not intimidated by Arch, go ahead and use Arch because it's really going to work out well. So those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on all these guys in the comments down below. Alrighty. Go ahead and shut this guy down. Yeah, let me know here if there's if I'm missing something on Flatpak GUI management. That would be useful information here. Let's see. Selbu on Discord says, I like the forest wallpaper picture. Don't remember the last time I installed something using a GUI. All package searches and installs in the terminal. Yeah, once you learn how to do it in the terminal, it's so much better. But nevertheless, some people are still intimidated by the terminal, so I like getting into it that way. All right. I thought I highlighted a comment. Did my comment not stay highlighted? My comment's not highlit, man. No idea where my comment went. The idea of Wolf being in politics gives me serious, is it Tohu 11 Rimu Wolf Spirit Root ending vibes? I have no idea what that is. What did you just say? Were you speaking in tongues, Farron? Not sure if all the viewers of this channel got shares those conspiracy theories you guys are promoting here. Let's see, American government media, because they definitely have a disregarding the government media because they definitely have a hidden agenda. Sure what you're talking about. Let's see. And actually, yeah, my channel, actually, the cornerstone of my channel used to be the Tinfoil Hat Time series, which we will eventually bring back from the grave. I'm in the process of hiring an alien necromancer to resurrect the series. We'll see what happens with it, though. Let's see. Yeah, which conspiracy theories are you talking about? If you want to get into a fun medical discussion about COVID, good luck. Not trusting information from health officials. Okay, Jack. All right, let's go ahead, and I would like you to post me the scientific article that demonstrates that masks are effective for preventing COVID. Go. You have until the end of the stream to find it. And FYI, if you haven't, then go ahead and have a look at some Computing Forever videos. Read about what the World Economic Forum has been doing for the last 20 years. And no, the health officials are not using science. They're using politics. So you find me, number one, find me the definitive scientific study demonstrating that masks prevent the spread of COVID. Go ahead and give me a link to that. What Office suites do you guys use? I use only Office. I use LibreOffice since it has every functionality I need, and for serious advanced stuff, I don't explore other options. That's kind of my thought. But I don't know. Maybe I'll look at it again. Favorite packages not available in Solus or Fedora. You could use them in an Ubuntu or Arch virtual machine. Yeah. Then you may as well just run Windows in a virtual machine. Ugh. PUBG, Valorant, and COD would be playable on any Linux distro. Having an opinion and spreading dangerous misinformation. Well, Jack, I happen to have a PhD in toxicology. I've studied a lot of science. A lot of it. Like I said, research isn't there, dude. You find me that research. See, mind controls people, label critical thinkers, conspiracy theorists, yeah. Let's see. I don't think there's GNOME software in FlatHub. You know, I thought I looked at that before, and I didn't think you could put GNOME. Maybe you can. I don't know. Snap Store for snaps. There you go. Many government officials say it's a worrying sign of terrorist tendencies, and you should believe that. Yeah, that's true. Looks like FlatHub moved into the proprietary rental business. Ooh. Hey, Kitty, you want to come up now? I got room for Kitty up here now. Come on. Come on, buddy. Coming up. Come on. Cat's down here like, dude. All right. Main reason I don't run solid-state drivers. I don't care how I was treated by the developers. All right. There you go, buddy. There you go. Let's go ahead and show to Kitty. Okay, main reason, let's see. Yeah, no GNOME software on FlatHub. Solus is decent, but it has many bugs. Basically, it's maintenance mode, and the tool chain is not documented. Guess it works on a VM. It should work on bare metal. Yep. Give Solus 12 months life at the best. Nah, it's been around for a while. FlatHub thing was a joke. Yeah, I imagine that. Let's see. About no headaches. My vote goes to Manjaro. There you go. Yogurt wins. Oh, yogurt wins. Yogurt wins. Richard Addison said it. I wasn't the first. Which is easier to use? Currently using Ubuntu. Between these two, I honestly think Manjaro is. Ubuntu is not bad, though. If you're liking Ubuntu and it's working for you, keep it. I think Linux Mint is going to be your easiest overall one to be used. Of course, Farron OS thinks Farron OS is the easiest to use, but okay. All right. Fair point. Masks do little to nothing, in many instances end up making people sick. That is what the science seems to demonstrate. We know sticking high-powered magnets up your nose isn't a good way to keep a mask up. I should try that. I have the banned buckyballs. You guys seen the buckyballs, the tiny little magnetic beads? I have some of those. Got them right before they were banned. Windows in a virtual machine. I installed it this week. Windows already felt ultra bloated from the start. Yeah. Manjaro's best. Votes also for Manjaro. All right. We've reached the bottom. Is that Garfield? This is CJ. This kitty is CJ, and the other kitty is TJ. TJ rarely makes appearances, although lately she kind of knows that during the stream that I give out temptations at the end of the stream, and so she's like, yeah, I'll come on down for some temptations. So sometimes we will get a double catter, but let's go ahead and feed the beast, and then we will read the last couple comments and get out of here. All right, buddy. Come here. Come on this way. Oh, boy, kitty. Oh, boy, kitty. Oh, boy. Right here. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Here, back up a little bit so people can see you better. We can't see you. The camera angle's all wrong. Dude, I got nothing in my hand, dude. It's all in the bag. It's all in the bag, cat. It's all in the bag. Oh, give us a paw. Give us some paw. Give us some paw, kitty cat. Give us some more paw. Need some paw. Yeah, we got some paw. Oh, where are they? Oh, there's not many left. There's only a couple left. Whoa. There's one more in the bag there. Get that one in the bag. See it? You see it? Get it? It's right in the bag. Yeah, we'll give you one more just because you're being so good and cute. Here you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're a good kitty, huh? The finger licking good? They're just like that KFC the other day. Finger licking good, huh? Of course, I never share my KFC with you, do I? No, I don't share my KFC with you. He's like, yep, got my kitty treats. I'm getting out of here now. He's such a fair weather friend. Such a fair weather friend indeed. Woo! All right. Let's see. Buckyballs, threat or menace. That's right. Here's a thought. It says on the side of it, keep away from young children. If you keep them away from young children, you won't have a problem with buckyballs. I mean, I've never had the desire to swallow any of them to see what would happen. I'm sure it wouldn't be a good thing, but, you know, the same thing applies for bleach. I don't try and eat that either. Now, Tide Pods, the other... No. Windows 98 and a VM. Hey, I actually have Windows 98 and a VM. I have SimCity 2000 on mine, though. And I have Winamp, because you know what it does to the llama. Let's see. Problems getting the track PD on my laptop to work properly with Manjaro. Okay. Wish I had a second GPU lying around to play some games on Linux. This way it'd build FIFO solution. Search Australian rocket scientists, high-powered magnets for the story I'm referencing. Solus is very solid, has a ton of promise, but is gimped by some bugginess and lack of software. Okay. Most people use masks wrong. They are not careful while using them. If you have a mask on and then a virus is in your mask and you take your mask off, you will get it on your hands. And then you're going to touch stuff. That's exactly what happens. This is why every place, if you look up the various charts, every place where mask laws went into effect, things got worse. Let me see if I can find that page again. Let's see. I grabbed it over here. Let's see if I can find the... figure out what that reference was again. I'll find it. Okay. All right. Web browser view. All right. So these 12 graphs show mask mandates do nothing to stop COVID. All right. So I'm not going to read the text. So Australia COVID cases. So they put in the mask when you already had a downward curve and it still went up. Germany, mask downward curve went up. France, put it on the downside curve, still went up. Spain, still went up. UK, still went up. Belgium, still went up. Italy, still went up. This one was a neat one because they put it in right at the restart of the curve. European masks versus no masks. Black masks, red no masks. Whoa! So these known are Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Here is wearing a face mask from March 1st to October 26th. USA is the blue dot. So we have Italy, Spain, France, Germany, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. California, masks required here. Whoa! Hawaii, indoor mask required, outdoor mask required. Whoa! Texas versus Georgia. Georgia, no masks required. Texas, masks required. Millions of deaths. New York, Sweden with no masks, Georgia with no masks, and Texas, masks get put in over here. So you can very clearly see masks do nothing according to the actual data. Fun stuff. Let's see. Thought the rise in COVID was because more people were using JS. That's right. No, what's causing the spike in cases is because we're testing. So it becomes this fear porn thing where people will get into, like, a few cases go up. So I'm going to use here in Center County as the perfect example, because back in March, the students went on spring break, and I said, this is when we're going to get our first case. Well, we actually did get our first case that week, but what happened is they told the students don't come back. And then they did the rest of the semester after spring break from home, so all the students went home. Campus was empty. It was a ghost town. We still had no cases. We were getting, up to that time, we had, I think, a grand total of, was it either 7 or 11 deaths? So let's go with the 11 number. The youngest person was 72. So the deaths range from age 72 to 101. All nursing home deaths. All of them. People who were nursing home patients either died at the nursing home or died at the hospital coming from a nursing home. That's what happened. And then what happened is in September, they brought the students back on campus. And then part of this, they brought 40,000 students to campus here in Center County. So we have a natural population of 162,000 plus 40,000 students. So now we have 20,000 people here with an extra 40,000 people now centered in one very small geographic space. But what they did is they said, we are going to mandate the testing of 1% of the student population every single day, which brought our tests to go from about 100 a day up to about 600 a day. We're finding this massive explosion of cases, record numbers all over the place, because we tested more people. But if you actually drill into the numbers, you find over 80% completely asymptomatic cases, nearly the rest of them a common cold, if nothing else. We've had only a couple people under the age of 60 in the hospital. I think the number was 2. It might have been a little bit higher. Nearly every case and death we've had in the hospital or death we've had is because COVID hit a nursing home. So when COVID hits a nursing home, people die because that is the vulnerable population. So here in Pennsylvania, the number one comorbidity by a margin of 7% is dementia. Followed after that, 7% below that, followed by I think it's heart disease and then COPD. And so what we see is disease is highly impacted. But then what happened is all these tests cards coming down. So now they put it in the free testing clinic and are wanting everybody to get tested. And then so you find a whole lot more asymptomatic people who don't actually have signs or symptoms, who don't have illnesses, who don't have any complications. But this was coupled with COVID hit a nursing home, and so hospitalizations went up. It didn't go up because the general population was being hospitalized. It went up because COVID hit a nursing home. And that's what happened in Center County. Now, other counties might be about the same, but you'll notice we put in a mask mandate, and I walk downtown and I see everybody and their brother wearing masks all the time, and they all went up. So my friend's mother gets it. She wears a mask all the time. He didn't get it. He doesn't wear a mask all the time. His stepfather didn't get it. Like, he got it. He tested positive, never got sick, doesn't wear a mask. And then she was all fearful about it. And then she got it. And she's like, that was COVID? And now she's like, this is nonsense. That's what's really happening. So open up your eyes. If I saw people like left, right, and center getting sick. If I saw average college students dying in the hospital of COVID, I'd be like, yeah, we need to take more crazy restrictions voluntarily. That's not the experience we see. I see things with my eyes that are different than what the government experts are telling me. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's what we're seeing. All right. Only solution, just the thing contributes to the whole picture. Yeah. Fair, most problems fit this definition. More true in Nevada. Compared to the Avenger deaths of the planet, they have JS meme. Isn't the main task of masks just to prevent disease escaping from your mouth, not to infect others? Well, that's what their talking point is. There's two fundamental problems. Number one fundamental problem is the virus particles are so small that the mask, it does not work. What it does do is it will capture some. But now what happens is we capture a mask. So I don't know do I have anything I can wear substitute as a mask. Here, I have this Subway napkin that will be my mask. Okay, I will turn this into a mask. Okay, so now we have a mask. So people are walking around with a mask, and you're breathing in and breathing out, and you're capturing viruses and bacteria and germs on this mask. Now, when you are in a medical situation where you wear a mask to keep the sterility, you put the mask on, and then you take it off very carefully around the edges, and you discard the mask immediately into a biohazard bin. You don't reuse them. Is that what happens? No. We have our masks on, and then we start fidgeting with them. We start adjusting them. We pull it down like this, because it's more convenient to pull it down like this. We hang them around our chins. We drink our water. We eat our food. We keep them hanging around over here, and then we pull them back up to do this, to walk in a building. Then we do this kind of stuff, we take them off, and we do this kind of stuff, and then we carry them around like this. How many people have you seen carrying a mask? You are now taking trapped virus particles, bacteria, and all of the components of bacteria needs to grow and generate their waste on this thing, and it's now getting all over your hands. Now you're touching doors. Now you're scratching yourself. Now you're rubbing your eyes. You're picking your nose. You're doing this. You are spreading viruses back to yourself in a more concentrated dose, which increases the effectiveness. So it goes back to this. Princess Bride. Which cup was poisoned? They were both poisoned. Why did Wesley not die? Because he'd built up an immunity. How do you do that? By having small doses over a period of time. If you were to take a single small particle that happens to contain a COVID virus, the chances of getting that small amount infecting you on a small amount is fairly slim. But if you take something large, like collecting on a mask and then touch it and handle it and do this kind of stuff, you do all that kind of stuff, that is the thing that causes some impact. That is the thing that will have some negative thing. That's the thing that gives you a concentrated dose that will actually get you sick. So while the idea is to prevent disease escaping, not to infect others, it doesn't work at that task. That's kind of the issue. Is there any conclusion on the theme? Which theme? On the theme of Manjaro versus Solus. Manjaro one. Yeah. You know how to beat a virus, folks? You catch it and survive it and go on with public. Yeah. Hey, Tuck Hut. How's it going there, Tuck Hut? I missed you. Are you here? Still here, Tuck Hut? Greetings. Someone considers Solus the winner. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty close. I think I call Manjaro as the winner because it has the easier manage snaps, flat packs, Arch user repository, turn on, turn off from the terminal with a GUI installer. That's why I like this. New Japan shut-in problem would end up temporarily being a good thing. Let's see. So the cases are people that only found out they had it after the test. Yeah. People with restriction, it can cause an upgrade. Yeah. Even I think only people should isolate are the people old or sick or have weak immune systems. That's what should happen. Really, it should be their choice. Do they want to choose that? Because if you take an old nursing home patient, if if you're in a nursing home this Thanksgiving, you're probably not going to be on the planet next Thanksgiving. That's how the statistics tend to break. The average person has a 6-month term in a nursing home before they pass. You take a person who's older and elderly, and you say, we can keep you safe for another 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years if you're lucky, by keeping you away from everybody and you only talk to people on a digital format. Or you can enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and risk catching an illness and dying. If you were to ask them that question, nearly all of them say, I want to go to my family's house. Nearly all of them. They don't want their last Thanksgiving to be done over a Zoom call. And that's what the government's advocating right now. Thanksgiving over a Zoom call. I'm sorry, that just does not make sense. But if you're concerned or you are weak or you are ill, yes, you should. We should have opened schools up completely. Any teacher that is over the 65 mark, any teacher that has diabetes, heart disease, obesity, any comorbidity, give them a paid leave off. I would pay extra taxes to give those people a paid year sabbatical. Or give them a job in administration where they're not going to have like an administrative role they can do remotely. Those are the people we need to keep safe. But your young teachers, your teachers out of college, your teachers in their mid 40s, your students, they're going to be perfectly fine even if they catch it. It's better to build the herd immunity because that's how herd immunity works. COVID case was a bad case of strep throat. Yeah. People say about a mask, I'll still wear one. Been in where family died at home. And that's perfectly fine. I am absolutely fine if somebody wants to wear it. Where I have a problem is where the government says you must wear this. That's where I have the problem. I have no problem. Like where I draw that line is fine. I will keep 6 feet away from people if they choose to keep 6 feet away. I'm fine. I am not going to encroach in anybody's space. I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to leave my house if I'm sick or feel like I'm sick or if I have a fever or anything like that. I'm just not going to do it. But stop telling me what I have to put on my face before I walk into a building. That's insane. Or even worse, don't tell me what I have to put on my face if I visit with a friend in his own house or if I have a friend visit me in my own house. If I'm not paranoid about COVID, I should stay home and stay away from people. Mutations are appearing in Siberia. Head of Russia's Consumer Watchdog said on Thursday as the country reported record high deaths. We'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at those. Had it for a few days. Was basically a bad cold. Yeah. That's about it. That's what happened to my friend's mother. In fact, he comes over on Sunday. He's like, we should skip church today. My mom tested positive for COVID. I'm like, all right. So we called the pastor and I was like, hey, we're going to stick home for a couple weeks. And I'll call him next week. I'll call him this weekend and I'll ask him, do you want us to stay out for another week or two? That's fine. I skipped my Bible study this week that I usually go to because, not because I have it, not because my friend has it, but because a friend's parent had it. And that is enough for us to say, we're going to do our part and we're going to keep a little bit of a distance. But if 5 days or in 10 days, and by the way, she was sick at the beginning of the month. If this whole time passes and I'm not having any signs or symptoms, I've either had it and had absolutely no issue with it and therefore I'm now immune, or we just didn't get it and after a couple weeks, it doesn't make any difference. So no, I'm not a grandma killer. I'm using common sense and using my education in science a little bit, That's the thing. Pseudo open your eyes. There you go. Yeah. People buying cloth masks that end up wearing petri dishes. Yeah, I know. How corona gets all over your body. I know, right, King? Yeah, you missed the early part. Someone got me off on the coronavirus. I just had to go on with it, Let's see. Solus is awesome. We say AOR is the key. Absolutely. Linux Foundation, COVID app. Yeah. AOR carries ports of Debian package. Nice. Hello, Jeff from Maryland. How are you doing? Solus isn't missing any software I've ever wanted. Yeah, they're going to have most of your main software, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. just download Ventoy from their website. Very cool. I have a good video on Ventoy if you need help with it. It was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed it very much. All right, I think what we're going to do, guys, let's see, close that. I think what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and wrap up here. I think we've done enough ranting and raving about insane stuff, you know, enough stuff to get this video certainly demonetized or age restricted. But anyway, I'll go ahead and release the edited version of the Manjaro versus Solus here, probably in the next half hour or so, and then I'm going to get out of here and get some work done today. Got a couple new big projects I'm working on right now, and Saturday's video should be streamcasting in Linux. We're going to be using Steam Link. We're going to set up Steam Link on a Raspberry Pi and share our desktop. We'll see if we can pull that one off. So anyway, we will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. We will see you tomorrow for the supporters stream and Friday for the weekly news roundup. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software